when you look at a piece of art, what you're looking at is thousands of decisions that the artist made. All the brushstrokes, all the adjustments, all the color choices, their thoughts on physical display. So when you look at a piece of art, you're seeing a map of the artist's brain. That's what I think. I've just found that realism to me is a never-ending learning experience. It never gets old. And the more you introduce other elements into the composition, the more interesting it gets. It's a really difficult thing to create something believable that has atmosphere and emotion. You can tell a story through the way you choose to paint a picture. Everyone can follow the fundamentals of how to create something representational and realistic, but we all have our own preferences as far as like what we love about painting, or what we love about, where we decide to put the texture, where we decide to soften an edge, where we decide to accentuate the light. I'm not learning much about my psychology as far as my personality per se, but more about what I like to see. Building up texture in the skin tones and keeping the shadows really thin and transparent. Those are the types of things that I'm learning about myself, rather than like what you're choosing to paint or what your subject matter is. To me, that's secondary. When I look at art history, I am always inspired by the ones that seem like they exist outside of time. They have a timeless quality. The way I see it is like I'm so influenced by so many painters, but when I just think about, I just want to paint my life, that's how I know I'm on the right track. The reason I paint people is, I think it has a lot to do with just how interesting it is to be alive, and how complex and rich existence is. Like the human experience, there's so much going on. There's pain, there's love, there's excitement, inspiration, creativity, and portraiture is a direct line to that. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? There's so much great art that has come before us, and to use that as a nice starting point or jumping off point to maybe riff off of or evolve and take it a step further is what it's there for. I think that's the evolution of art. That's how it keeps evolving, rather than just say, oh yeah, that was a great film or that was a great painting and that's it. It's like, well, take things from that. Why was that successful? What makes that so good? And let's bring that into a modern version of that and maybe twist it and change it a bit, but evolve it further. Don't just let the conversation end there. Keep it moving.